I'm going to go into a whole little long demonstration or talk about this, that, and the other. This is a message out to Jamie Fernando Gonzalez. You went out and did a video, and many videos, claiming that our product was a scam. That's what you said. We have the actual video. We have pictures from the video. We have videos showing the inside of your apartment. That's apartment E. Clearly showing you making statements that the product that you received from our company, wherever you said you got it from, is considered to be so dark it's unwatchable. From what we see in the videos, you are showing a product that the screen can't even be seen. It's that dark. Now, this is after we have done all this extensive testing on the product to make sure it works perfectly fine. We have the product in other locations. We have customers who have the product. And yet, you still went out and proceeded to make a demonstration claiming that our products don't work. And you've been doing it. We have a history, and we can show the judge that you've been doing this for a very long time. The only difference is the reason why we didn't do anything then, because we didn't know where you lived at. Because you have multiple addresses, including the building you're in right now. The address doesn't match. It doesn't match the floor number. Doesn't match anything on the address. The apartment itself is showing suspicious activity as not being there. So with that being said, I don't know anybody who takes a floor number and sticks it behind the street of an address unless they're trying to hide the address. We got the actual real number of the address. We know where it's at. And that came in just in time for me to get ready to file a lawsuit against you. Should be next week. We file next week. I'm sure we're right on this one. Now, as for criminal activity, you are running a counterfeiting 3D printing business out of your apartment, and you are selling items and making a profit of items that you have no business selling to begin with. Second, you're running a business out of your apartment and you don't even have a license to sell in the state of California. Third, your apartment is not zoned for that type of business to begin with. So there are several factors there to begin with that I don't even know why you're arguing or even trying to mention or try to have a leg to stand on. You don't have one. Even if you are an American citizen, you still broke the law. You're still going to jail. You touched my copyrights. You touched my cube recently to make it a part of your 3D printing counterfeiting business. You have doxed addresses. You have terroristic acts. You've made threats against me. You made threats against my family. I've got racial slurs on emails. Just about everything you could possibly think of. So, you're being taken to court because you made a statement about the Apex. You said in your video, you did a review. I got all the recordings of it. And you stated the product came out that dark. So, what you're going to have to do is when the paperwork's filed and you got to be in court, you're just going to have to show up. That's all to it. That's simple and plain. You just got to show up. You don't show up, then you're going to have more problems on your hands. That's all it's going to accumulate to. You're going to have to show up. Now, several factors are playing there. If you're an American citizen, mind you, basically sent me a text message telling me you're a citizen and that you're going to file charges against me. That's citizen fraud if you're not. The charges are considered to be a terroristic threat. We can sit there and say we're going to file charges against you. It's true. We did file. We went in and filed a complaint against you. Several complaints against you. Matter of fact, 31 complaints against you. Did you not post my face without my permission? Did you not slander me in defamation and say at the end of the day that I was racist and all this stuff? You did, right? Did you not touch my copyrights without my permission? You did multiple times. I can show the judge multiple times that you went in, touched my copyrights, on all types of stuff over top of copyrighted government material. Second, as I said before, your building does not come up. Every building I checked on that particular block comes up. Your building is the only one that's fault. Only one that has that fault. But not only that, the address 1714 isn't even an address. I checked all that. 1714 is a floor. So why would anybody take a floor number and use it as the beginning of an address when it's actually a floor number? People do that when they want to hide an address. So whatever you got to say on your channel, we don't care. At the end of the day, Fernando, you're going to go see a judge. If you decide that you don't want to go in, you don't want to see this judge, then what's going to happen is you're going to get sued for $12,000. I'm going to get my judgment, because we know you can't show up. If you go through TSA, you're going to go through a thorough check. You can't drive down here, can't take a bus down here. You have to fly in to do these court cases. So you're going to fly in. If you don't show up, you're just going to lose $12,000. The debt collector is going to come and get. Well, they're going to pay us already, but they're going to get their money. And then the next stage is, because you're a no-show, and we do have quite a bit of criminal activity from you, we're going to go over to the courts, and we're going to file charges against you, because you basically committed charges and crimes against me, and that's what I'm going to file. Now, if you don't make it to these when the process server comes to your front door, then they're going to get a bench warrant for you. And a bench warrant is very simple. You don't show up for court, you get a bench warrant. That's how it works. So you're going to have to go from there. So this is your problem at the end of the day. See, you're the type of person that does dumb stuff at the end of the day, but you want to blame everybody else for your dumb stuff. It's going to happen, Fernando, whether you like it or not. I'm going down, and I'm going to take care of this problem, and I'm going to file with the courts to get you in front of a judge. All you have to do is prove that you have our receipts, you have the container that the product came in, and prove that our product comes out that dark, which is something you're not going to win, and you know it. So you can mention me all you want on your channel, all day from sun up to sundown. That don't mean anything to me. At the end of the day, I'm going to see you in court. That's all that matters. You don't show up, you're going to have problems. That's all to it. That's how it works. You should know that if you're claiming to be an American citizen. If you're claiming to be an American citizen, you should know that rule. These are pictures you posted on your site, on your website, right here, on your YouTube channel, claiming our product came up that dark next to your product. And you mentioned in this video, I got a recording and everything of it. You mentioned in the video that we were scammers and rip-off artists. Well, okay then, we'll see you in court then. Don't go on your channel, don't cry about it. Because I see you right now, you're crying. Don't cry about it, don't whine about it. You see us in court. You made the statement, you back it up. We'll see you in court. That's the end of it. I can never understand people at the end of the day who paint themselves in the worst positions, the worst corners, and they will cry about it. You did the same thing with the process server the last time. You cried about it. You ain't getting out of this one. There's no video judge involved in this. This is coming from a judge. You will be here. You don't show up, I'm going to take it out of your pocket. If you basically, and if you think that's the end of it, no. I can have a no-show on you. I can show the courts when we go file for the criminal charges that you are known for not showing up. You're a no-show. Go over there and file criminal charges against you, and you'll have to go to court and defend yourself. That's what you'll have to do. Now, you can't go in and file charges, Fernando. I've heard this before. The reason why you can't file charges is because, as I said before, you don't have proper paperwork. You can't go in and file. First things first, how are you going to file charges against somebody, anybody, to begin with, if you ain't got the paperwork to be able to walk in the building to begin with to proceed with the charges? What are you going to get me on at the end of the day? You're going to say at the end of the day that you're threatened? Not threatened. These are promises. This is definitely going to happen to you. You made a statement about my product, right? I'm taking it to court. I'm challenging you on it. That's what's happening. That's what's going to happen. You're scared. That's why you're reacting that way. There's nothing you could do. You couldn't, if someone were to threaten you, you couldn't even file any charges. You can't even go into the courthouse in order to proceed with that process because anyone coming through a courthouse has to show proper ID. You don't have this, Fernando. I did a background check on you. You do not have citizenship in the United States. Now, we've been through this a dozen times, but you know what's really going to let it shine through? Court dates. Court dates going to let it shine through because you're going to have to show up. What excuse are you going to have not to be down here in Pennsylvania for a lawsuit? You made the statement. You should be able to back it up. There should be nothing in between that. If you went on your YouTube channel and made this statement, you should be down here in Pennsylvania to back it up. What other excuse you have? Unless you're going to come on camera and say, well, I lied. Well, too late for that. You're getting sued. And mind you, the no-show is what we're going to use against you again when we file for criminal charges. Look, Your Honor, he doesn't even show up for the lawsuit. This guy's been attacking my business over and over again. You're doomed at the end of the day. So you are going to show up in court. And if you don't want to show up for the lawsuit, fine. We'll use that against you at the end of the day when we go file for criminal charges. When we file those criminal charges, Fernando, you better show up. Because you'll get a bench warrant, and judges in America don't play. So you get that bench warrant, I sit there in court and I hear that judge talking about, where is he? And you get a bench warrant on you, I guarantee you, as the nose sits on your face, that you will see police officers on your porch, Baldwin Police Department, with a warrant for your arrest because the judge put an order in because you failed to show up for court. So you better show up. But the problem you got at the end of the day, you can't, because you can't make it past TSA security. You don't have paperwork. As for your vehicle, you're the one that flashed your license plate. Yes, you did. It's a dealer's plate. And anyone can get the information on the dealer's plate. That vehicle is not your name. You don't understand that people can see through your lies. You sat there on your bed in your apartment and lied and said you moved. Never moved. You were in the same spot the entire time. You sat there and lied about your screen paints and said there was something special, something different, and matched 2 different forms of paint in 2 different videos perfectly. And then got caught removing the videos off your account because we got it all documented. Everything's documented. You've been busted multiple times on committing all types of crime. And even worse, right there, you're going to deny that too? This is why I think this person either has split personality complex disorder, or maybe he has some kind of delusion of grandeur. Like he does stuff and literally doesn't remember what he does. You're forgetting, Fernando. We can even get you on the fact that you're running a 3D printing business out of your apartment. You don't have a license to run a business out of an apartment. You don't even have a license to run a business in the state of California. Even the LLC that sits on your account is fraudulent. Number 1, you haven't been around. You've been longer around than 5 months. Number 2, the address is incorrect. Who in their right mind takes a floor address where the floor's at and puts it in the beginning title of the street address? That means you want people to think that's where the actual address is supposed to be at. And then all of a sudden, the pictures that we got pictures literally showing location of your property. We have pictures clearly showing that we can update the image in any one of those, what do they call those, real estate ads? Because we have images. So if we have images, how come y'all don't have images? That's another huge red flag. And then on top of that, the blur. The blur only shows up on that one area only. Anytime somebody puts on an address like that, because they don't want to be found, that's why. And you put the same address, the same information down on your LLC, which is another form of perjury. So you're talking all this trash. You can't do anything, Fernando. You can't do anything at all. Not a thing at all. All you can do is just wait for impact. That's all you can wait for. So whatever's saying on your channel is just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. As I told you before, if you felt that the business that you were running, how about you go take that camera, walk it over to Baldwin Police Department, walk it over to code enforcement, ask for Janet Buckband. Ask for her. She's head of code enforcement over in California, Baldwin. You go over there and you tell them like, hey, look, I'm running a 3D printing business out of my apartment. I don't have a license. I'm not zoned to run a 3D printing business out of the apartment, and I'm basically stealing licensed material and selling it and profiting. how fast do you think you're going to be to walk out of that police station or any environment you're going to be to walk out of? None at all. I gave you 2 weeks to do this, and what did you do? You didn't contact anybody at all, because you know darn well you're stealing from companies. So right now, your little video, that just shows that at the end of the day, you're scared. That's what it tells us. But here's the thing, Fernando. Next week, I file. And when I file with the judge, I will make sure the judge fully knows the full impact of your situation. Everything. And when that's done and we meet up, which you know you're not going to show anyway. So we meet up with the judge. We're going to explain everything to them. And the judge is going to guarantee two things. Either they're going to send it to a prosecutor and they're going to open a case and push it through for criminal charges to get a warrant for your arrest, or they're going to recommend us a judge over on the other end and give recommendation for us to go over there and begin the process of criminal charges and warrant for your arrest. Either way, you're coming here. Should have thought about all that before you did all that dumb stuff to begin with. And like I said, if you felt in any way, I filled out 5 of those forms. If you felt in any way that I was basically, you're a citizen, how come you didn't make that statement the first time? You didn't make that statement at all. You said in your video, I'm being deported for an honest review. That's what you said, right? I mean, why didn't you say that I'm an American citizen? That's the first thing anybody would have said. If an ICE officer would have grabbed anybody off the street, the first thing they would have said was, hey, you can't touch me. I'm an American citizen. Get the freak out of my face. That's the first thing they would have said, because they have rights. You didn't mention that at all, period. As a matter of fact, I got it on record. I can show a judge or anybody else. You disappeared for 11 days. And then you came back. You kept doing all these narrow shot views of your apartment because you want everybody to believe that you was someplace else and you wasn't there. That doesn't sound like a person at the end of the day that claims to be a citizen. Number 2, that I brought up before them at the end of the day, your apartment alone. You've been in the same apartment for how long? So let me get this straight. You made enough money to buy a vehicle, but you didn't buy a more open, more comfortable apartment. You'd rather stay in an apartment that looks like a mason jar with a lid tightly on it. You bought a projector that cost $3,500, but you didn't buy a new place to move into? That's the first thing I would have done. Anybody would have done. They would have upgraded to a bigger place. So you've been in the same spot. You know why you've been in the same spot? Because we found out a lot of things about the apartment complex. Number 1, the reason why the apartment complex is hidden, because it's a reason why it's hidden. You already know that one from the door. I'm not going to say that too loudly on camera, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows what I'm going to. And then once you find a spot that's comfortable, that accepts you, and doesn't ask a lot of questions, people will stay in that spot. Even if it's 15 years, even if it's raising 2 kids in a cramped apartment, you'll stay there. Number 2, your apartment is very cramped. It looks like an episode of Hoarders in there. And the reason why, you can't get a storage unit. Why you can't get a storage unit? Storage units require 2 forms of ID. One of them is state ID you have to have. But you can't get that. The storage unit you were using was your sister's storage unit. That's what you were using. Because if you would have had a storage unit by now, your place would have never been that cramped to begin with. All of a sudden, you just pop over a storage unit because you're storing stuff in it. Man, come on, man. You've been faking it from day one. You've been using other people's identity and their information and make it claim like it's you. Well, let me tell you something. Come court date on that day, let's say you fake it to get past TSA security. Because you're going to have legit ID. And Fernando, if you're late, an hour late on these court cases, it's going to get brutal. Judges do not like it when you're late. So you better be there on time. And if you're not on time, we got free room to speak. And we got a lot to talk about with this judge. We're going to paint them a nice, beautiful picture on what type of person that you are. So what you're on your channel complaining about, you're complaining about simply that if you're saying that we don't have proof to be able to have you, oh, go ahead, play. Because what I have in your apartment alone, I can have you deported. You tell me, explain to anybody on YouTube how you can sell licensed material. Because, I mean, all us Americans over here would love to hear this one at the end of the day. How you can sell licensed material, profit off of it, and don't pay companies any royalties. Tell us how it works. Tell us, please. I would love to hear this. Because if this is the case, you figured out the biggest loophole of all of history. That means every single person that's sitting in jail right now for basically counterfeiting anything should be free and walking on the street. And then for the other thing, you put in the email said, unfortunately, What you mean, unfortunately? Unfortunately, he's an American citizen. Use unfortunately incorrectly. It's not supposed to be used. Unfortunately means something bad. In fact, unfortunately, he's an American citizen. Like I said, unfortunately, he's an American citizen. That's just jacked up. So you're saying that being an American citizen is garbage? Because that's kind of like what you said in the text message. Unfortunately. And then again, what attorney doesn't know the abbreviation for U.S.? That's not an attorney. That's you. You have a habit of being claiming yourself to being a second and third individual all the time. Fernando, you can't escape this. It's like having a limbo line. A limbo, but except for it's a laser instead. You're getting decapitated. Your head's coming off. You will come here to Allentown, or we will force you here, which means that we'll get a warrant for your arrest to come here. You don't have an option. There is no way out of this. You have run out of options. You have spent your life sneaking and slithering around from left to right and little corners, just in little pocket corners, just hiding in the dark. No more, buddy. You got a huge spotlight on you. There's a lot of agencies that know about you. So you are going to be here whether you like it or not. Time's run out on you. So, there's nothing you can do but face the music. And you will be here, Fernando. Now, if you decide that you don't want to basically be here for the lawsuit, hey, don't show up. I'm still going to take 12 grand out of you. And the people I'm going to hire at the end of the day will get their money, Fernando. And then when I'm done, I'm going to sue your landlord. Because I know your landlord is running a business over there he should not be running to begin with. We can get him on so many different options, it's not even funny. But the fact that he had you over there attacking an American company and a citizen, which is a violation of my civil rights, I'm definitely going to slam him for $1 million or so. You know, I find it hard he hasn't contacted me yet. I've been asking this question over and over again. So, whatever you got to say on your channel, blah, 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 means nothing to me. You will see us in court. Don't do that nonsense when the processor came to your door the first time. You can't hide in the room anywhere. Ain't nowhere to hide. Ain't nowhere to go. Can't send your wife to the door. That's not going to work. When that processor gets there, it's orders to serve anyone in the apartment over the age of 18. Now, he'll do that for the next couple of days. That'll keep you at bay. You can't go anywhere. And then when I'm ready, I'll give the order for him to post it to your door. Take a picture, send it back so we have it on record. And it shows that when you get that document, it shows on your door. Can't say you didn't get it. We got a picture and the court got a picture of it. You're going to read through it and you're going to contact the judge or the courts. You're going to contact them because that's what they advise you to do. So you're going to ignore it or you're going to contact. Mind you, Jamie, the reason why you're being taken to court because you went and made a false demonstration against the Apex Gamer. You made a statement that the product came out too dark, unwatchable, and it was a scam. That's what you did, right? Well, okay, then. We'll see you in court. What are you in there crying? What are you on your channel crying about? Oh, by the way, I want my receipts. If I don't get my receipts and I don't get my container and I want it, you don't have it, I'm going to get you on fraud charges. I'm going to get you into federal. And you know what happens in there, right? So, you better have my stuff. That means at the end of the day, you went and did a fake demonstration against my company with no containers, no receipt, and proceeded to lie on social media, making false statements that our product was a scam. I can get you 20 years just for making that statement in federal court. So you think it's a joke, right? Come next week, I'll show you my documents and paperwork that I filed. So, you go cry on your channel. You make all this fake mumble-jumble nonsense that, oh, you don't got no lawyers. You never had a lawyer to begin with. I sent a lawyer to your front door with the cease and desist. That was a real attorney that we sent to his door with the cease and desist order. And they made a statement to Mr. Fernando. They said, if you even use this document in any way whatsoever, they're going to sue you themselves. Did you see him use that document? No, because he knows his place. Just like when that process server came to your door and you hid in the kitchen. I heard your voice. I was on a video call when I was talking to the process server. And the woman that came to the door was a short woman with glasses, real heavy set. That's your wife. She cracked the door just enough. And she was scared. Now, that lets me to believe at the end of the day, when those process servers come to the door, they have badges. A gold badge, a shield they have. Why wouldn't she open the door all the way? Then maybe she has a secret also. Now, am I concerned about her secret? Nah, I don't care. Fernando, we just want you and you own it. So, your time's running out. Next week I'll be here. I'll be over across the street. I got the judge I wanted. I'm going to go file and come back over here. I'm going to show my document, and that means it begins. You have 30 days, not 30 days, sorry, between 12 to 30 days. You have that time to get yourself a criminal defense attorney before we go to court. Once the 12 to 30 days is up, that means it'll hit a judge's desk. Once it hits a judge's desk, that means they're going to issue a court date. Once we issue a court date, it's my job to hire the process server to come to your apartment, knock on your door, and give you the notice. It's going to knock on your door a couple of times. It's going to keep coming back. You're going to be trapped in that apartment for the next couple of days. And if you drive off, they're going to track your vehicle down because we have that dealership license plate on it. You ain't going anywhere with that vehicle. So you're stuck for a couple of days. And then I'll contact the processor and just tell them to post your door. Once he posts your door, I get a picture copy from me, and the courts get a copy showing that you did receive the notice. You have 30 days to reply. And 30 days to contact the courts over here in Pennsylvania to let them know that you are going to show up. Because when you call there, Fernando, they're going to ask for your first and last name, all your information. They're going to ask for all that, make sure it's you, and they're going to tell you that this is a court date, and this is when you're going to show up, and this is the time you have to be here on time. So it's already going to be on court record that you did contact and notify them that you're going to be here on time. So you can't forget this piece of paper. You can't just tuck it away and say, oh, you know, it never happened, never got here. Oh, they're going to know it got there. And they're going to know you have 30 days to reply. Things are about to get heated up for you. Why are you so scared of me, Mr. Bird? What's the problem? See? He's afraid to meet Mr. Bird. You talked all this trash, you're going to finally meet me, but you may not. You may not never make it over here. If you don't make it over here for them court cases, man, them criminal cases, you got to make it here. If you don't make it here, ain't kind of a problem there. You got to come over here to fight your claim. You said my product doesn't work, right? You said it's a scam, it's a ripoff, right? Then I expect for you to be here to show up. So I'm going to enjoy $10,000 out of you. They're going to come in and take your projector and all your stuff at them. They're going to take all of it. As much as they can get their hands on, they're going to take it. So, let's see from there. Now, Fernando, once we basically tell the judge about the whole counterfeiting scheme that's going on in your apartment, it's their job to contact those companies that are sitting on that table to let them know that we have a person of interest that is counterfeiting your merchandise and making a profit. I bet you $100 those lawyers come out. And these guys are going to want a piece of you too. I want to make sure we get ours first. But they're going to want a piece out of me. You know Disney don't play. But like I said, you have permission, right, to sell their stuff. I mean, I've never heard of anybody making a pair of Timberlands or Versace's, Gucci's, Calvin Klein, you name it, whatever. Adidas, I've never heard anybody doing that. Making a pair of sneakers and selling them, and the company not saying anything about it and just letting it go. I never heard of that before. Like the guy contacted us and said he's not breaking any laws. You don't crack books at the end of the day. Your intelligence level is extremely poor because you don't crack books. So you don't know the rules. You've been here. He's an American citizen. You don't know the rules about counterfeiting, basically about trademark and copyrights. You don't know the rules behind that? So let's get this straight. A lawyer who spent 15 years in law school just wasted, what, $300,000 at most to go to school to become a lawyer? And you can just do this anyway? What would be the point? What's the point of all these companies hiring attorneys if you can just go in and take whatever you wanted from them? You don't want to be going to jail for music copyrights. You don't want to go to jail for art copyrights and recipes. Nobody be going to jail. Everybody should just be taking each other's stuff. But unfortunately, when I say unfortunately, let's say this is the law in the United States. If you touch stuff that doesn't belong to you, you will get sued. That's how it works. That's the law. We all know this. But for Fernando, it's not for him. Because he feels that because he's not from here, he should do whatever he wants at the end of the day. And that's a spit in a person's face that's from America. That's spitting on our flag at the end of the day. So you're going to tell me, you not being an American citizen, you got a right to come here and do whatever you want. And we just have to accept it. And if anyone says anything about it, God forbid, we're all racist then. So I want to give you an opportunity, Jamie, to understand what the American system is all about. I'm going to give you the opportunity to back yourself up in court. I expect for you to be here. And if you don't show up for that lawsuit, if you are a no-show for that lawsuit, I will use the fact that you are a no-show. I will go back to the courthouse. I will get a detailed printout showing that you were no-show, court document. I'll take it over there to Common Pleas Court, and I will begin the process of getting every single incident report, including the nonsense that went on with that copy printing nonsense in your apartment, and I will file the biggest criminal case against you have ever seen. And I guarantee you, when a judge sees that, and you better show up for this one, you don't show, I guarantee you, bench warrant. And here's the thing, Fernando. Once you get a bench warrant, there's no place you can go. Can't go to family members' home because they'll be there. Can't go anywhere. They'll be there. They'll track down everything on you. That video you have of you buying that vehicle, we got a copy of the video. We actually submitted it over there to them that you bought this vehicle, making that money from them. So now they know about your vehicle. They know about everything. So what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? There's no place you can go. And then you run the risk of getting pinched if you go any place else too far out. So what you going to do? You're going to get hunted. And guess who we're going to call for that one? A bounty hunter. The one you got nasty with. See how life plays that karma, what goes around comes around? You got nasty with this guy. And now, you might end up with, well, you are going to end up with a bench warrant because he's not, he can't show. There's no anywhere for him to show. So you're going to end up with a bench warrant. And then with the bench warrant, you're going to meet the bounty. So it was meant for you guys to see each other either way. You're scared. That's why you're on your channel talking that way. Well, Fernando, go ahead and preach on your channel as much as you want. It ain't going to change anything. That's what I find interesting. Preach all you want. Make all the messages you want and knock yourself out. It's not going to change a thing. You are going to see a judge sooner or later. Doesn't make a difference. That's all that matters. So, I'll see you in court. And I'll see you for the second one, which is going to be the criminal charges. You can't show up because you don't have enough information. You don't have enough to get through TSA. You haven't even left the state of California since you've been there. I mean, heck, I've been out of Philadelphia quite a few times. Like, I've been out of state, been out of country a few times too. You have not left the state at all, period. Not upgraded to a new apartment, nothing at all, period. Everybody upgrades. That's what we do. Even them cheapskates you see on freaking TCL, whatever it's called, they all got nice homes. They didn't start off with those nice homes. They had to get those nice homes. They upgraded. As cheap as they are, they upgraded. And you didn't upgrade. For 15-something years. An apartment is packed as packed can be. When they walk up there, they can tell that you've been living in the same spot for a very long time. You can see it. Look at the accumulation of the dirt on the door. You can just see it. Jeez, please. Man. This guy's over there crying his brains out. They recorded this stuff over there already. It's already been documented. Everything's been saying it's all being documented for court. Yeah, it's scary. That's why when Wake saw you, we got a document, and Wake saw that process server hit his door, Wake removed his entire YouTube channel. Because he was scared because he had stuff to do with Jamie. Anytime people see a person go down, they start running like rats on a sinking ship because they don't want to get caught up in it. But the problem you got is Jamie snitches. So is Williams. Williams is a big time snitch. But that's your problem now. Y'all follow the devil, right? And this is what you got from the devil. Now, you go back on your channel, you cry and whine all you want. I don't care. Say whatever you want. I don't care. I'll see you in court. That's all that matters. And if you want to take this as a bluff, like it's not going to happen, well, you know, we'll see next week. We'll see what happens. I bet you, as your nose said so in your face, whoop, I'm going to see you in court, Mr. Fernando. So, lawyer up. We'll see you soon. Gotta go, people. I got business to conduct. All right? That's my message out to Fernando since he's crying on his channel. I know what you're crying. They know what you're crying about. I don't waste the time to come there and watch your stuff, man. You lie all day long. You do nothing but lie. Fake apartment, don't have information. What you gonna say? Your landlord's gonna try to sue me? Yeah, please go ahead. Knock yourself out. Go on and try that. I got so much information on that building at the end of the day, it's not even funny. If you even knew half the stuff we have on that building, it's not even funny. Who freaking hides an entire apartment complex? And even at that, doesn't even have any form of, there's nothing. Every apartment complex has like Julian Apartments, so-and-so apartments, that apartment, and there's big advertisement of the apartment right out in the front. The number's right there. Every single one on that block has one. That's the only one that don't have one. It's not even there. And then it shows up on every single apartment real estate agency. The same thing, 1714, 1714, 1714. That's why if you try to Google it, you can't find it. Try that challenge for today. Google the address, you can find it. It doesn't pinpoint the exact building where it's at. That's what it's supposed to do. When you have an address, Fernando, the address is supposed to pinpoint the exact area where the building's at, which means under Google Maps, there should be a little red marker that pops up on your building that shows exactly where your location's at. And it's not there. So why is this location not there? Because instead of it having the real address next to it, it has a floor number, which is not going to come up. I mean, somebody didn't want something to be found. No, I'm pretty sure your landlord knows your activity. I'm pretty sure he does. So that's why he's being sued for so much money. At one point, I didn't think maybe he didn't know, possible. He knows. If he's going to go through that much stake to basically hide an entire building, then he knows more than we think we know. Now, I'm going to have, before we get all this other stuff taken care of, once we get you out of the way, we go after his building. I got somebody going on to get an appraisal on the building and see how much it's worth and what he has and his banking accounts or whatever, because we're just going to hit everything. But he has you to thank for that. Now, if you were basically one of the quiet ones, that's what he was hoping you were, he made a mistake on you. He made a big mistake on you. Because he probably thought you're a quiet person, coming to be quiet, keep it under the radar. Nope, Fernando goes in and gets a YouTube account. I got friends of mine, basically, who work for immigration, and they're laughing their heads off about this guy. This guy did the very opposite. The whole purpose, when you come over, is to keep a low profile. What does this dummy do? This dummy goes out and makes purchases, runs a 3D printing business where he's actually ripping off companies, posts his YouTube videos all over the place of him doing this dumb nonsense. Get on there and start attacking people. You don't have documents, Fernando. And you're into breaking all types of laws. Lie on freaking government forms. Gee whiz Louise. It's like you wanted to get caught. And then you took your LLC and you made it public domain. You literally took one of those freaking slim pointers where you figure out where they're at when they're walking around. They got that little weird diamond thing. And you stuck that literally over top of your apartment. Heck, your apartment is the best. It's just right there. Boom. And that's why you went in and you had the pictures removed, because the pictures are the process server on your front door. But they're posted in other places right now. Those pictures were all submitted to ICE. So, there you go. Now, like I said, if you're an American citizen, I expect to hear from a lawyer. Let me see, you said you're going to sue me, right? So let's see. Get yourself a lawyer to contact me in the next 2 days. Get your landlord to contact me in the next 2 days. I would love to have a conversation with him. I got a lot of stuff to talk to him about you at the end of the day. So I would love to have a nice little conversation with your landlord. Other than that, go cry on your channel like you usually do. We'll see you in court. You know how it works at the end of the day. So that's it. This time, Fernando, I'm going to finish it. I'm never going to see you ever again. Do you understand me? When we get done with you with the courts over here, you will never be heard of or seen again. You're gone. I told you you're leaving here. You're going to leave the States. You're gone. And if you want to scream racism, you can do it in court. Make sure you bring your fake lawyer with you. I can't wait to meet him, too. I have your lawyer contact me. I would love to have a conversation with him, too. So next time you want to go on, it ain't going to be no next time for you. You're done. Forget about next time. But you should have thought about it when you called yourself taking that black paint and putting their name on it and saying that's my product at the end of the day, because that's what sparked the whole thing off. So it's interesting when I'm sitting there thinking, like, okay, we can't fly over, because again, we're going to have you done by video judge. But when I talked to the Common Pleas Court, they were like, no. He started the incident from there, right? And it landed here, right? I said, yeah. He said, oh, yeah, you're going to file here. That's what you're going to do. I said, well, you're following here? He said, yeah, you're going to follow here. Because the incident and the problem happened here. So you're going to file here. And I said, wait, if we file here, does that mean he has to come here? He said, yes, he has to come here automatically. And I saw, I was like, oh, shoot. Like, woo! Light popped over top of my head. So it means we don't have to fly there. You're coming to see us. So that's when I made the phone call and I said, okay, where do I got to go to get this started? You're going to go to da. How much is the fee? $225. Bam! I'll take care of that next week. And it's a certain judge I want. So you're going to be here. Now, I could file a bunch of these on you and just chip away at you. But I don't want to do that. I want to get this thing over and done with. File the first lawsuit. You don't show up. We're going to take that, the fact that you're a no-show. I'm going to go get that court document showing you didn't show up for court. Judge is going to kick me another front of the door. And then we're going to go over to the other and we're going to file over there. They are going to reach back to that judge and say, hey, this person didn't show up. Like, no, he didn't show up at all. Blah, 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 blah. That's not going to go well for you. And I know you're not going to show up for the criminal charges because you can't. Because you don't have the documents to get to TSA. So you're going to get a bench warrant. Either way, you're leaving. I think what Fernando got and what Fernando found out, that he thought that if he committed the crime, we would have to fly over there. And we would have to fly over there. That's what he thought. And you thought there's no way in the world I'm going to fly all the way over there to take care of it so I can do whatever the frick I want to do. Not realizing we can file here. So, see you soon. Let me get some orange juice. Well, he's not going to show up. He can't show up. I was talking about them other buddies. Like, how the freak you going to show up? You can't get through TSA. TSA is brutal for people that are here in the States. It's brutal to go through TSA. So, yeah, it's going to work. Now, Mr. Williams, at the end of the day, I had contact with your building today. They are refusing to do anything about you about the end of the day. That's fantastic. I got them on recording messages. I told them that this phone call's being recorded for training purposes, and we got them saying that we're not bothering doing anything about it. Good, because that lawsuit just went up by $10 million. Thank you. We're going to get paid. I said, I got a 4.7 million. I was like, what the freak? I talked to a lawyer about it. I said, yeah, you got those transcripts? Well, we got them right here. We got the transcripts. I'm making contact with the building multiple times, explained about your situation, and they did nothing about you. They're responsible for that. So we're going to get you in civil court, sue you, Mr. Williams, throw your butt in jail, and then you got the open case with the post office. They're going to hit you with a 20 to 30, and then when we get done, we're going to sue your building for $10 million. And we can get it too. Let's sue the city. Our housing authority is owned by the city. I can retire with that. Anybody can retire with that. That's a lot of money. They're going to have to pay us. I checked everybody. I went with every attorney I contacted that I knew. And I made sure 100% that we could get them. And they said, yeah, you can get them. As long as you show proof that they neglected the claim. See, by them neglecting Mr. Williams, neglecting us at the end of the day, they put other people in the building at danger. Which means that if he's showing this kind of unstable habit or kind of behavior, who's to know he might attack somebody in the building? And if they find out that we basically contacted by the method, they have a lawsuit to stand on because we're suing them. They're supposed to remove them. It is a landlord's obligation to remove anyone out of the building that can be a danger to other people or other tenants. So if you got somebody in there with a meth lab or somebody in there doing something they shouldn't do, at the end of the day, that could basically violate the lease, that person is supposed to be removed out of the building. But the stuff that Mr. Williams is showing, and I talked to other people around that building, they feel that he needs to be removed out of the building. Because it clearly shows that he is a danger. Also found your psychiatric evaluation forms too. By the way, we did some digging. Mr. Williams has spent some time inside for a psychiatric evaluation. So we found your charts. That being said, see you in court soon, Williams. Gotta go, people. Jamie, don't complain too much. Just take it like a man. Look how, what's that thing you wrote in your message? You said, for the first time in your life, be a man. There you go. Right back at you. Be a man. See you in court if you make it.